Welcome back everyone. So in the last session we learned about vowel sounds. We looked at certain words as practice. We also read a passage as practice. Now we're going to learn about syllable and syllable stress. So what I did as a part of the closing part of my last segment, I took a word computer, I broke it into sound. If you are effectively and successfully and efficiently doing that for every word, wherever you find difficulty to pronounce, you will actually master it. Now moving on to the syllable part. Before that, just a quick illustration how to break it into sounds. I have a word here which is stable, and this word is broken into consonant sounds and vowel sounds. So we have t and a, te, b. Now t, b and l are consonant sounds. A and are vowel sounds. So te, b. UH is a. It's not u, it's a. Alright. If it's a short vowel u sound, then I will just use the letter u. But it's UH which is a. So this is how I break it into consonant sounds and vowel sounds. Now practice session which we already did. So I'm moving to the next segment of sound, which is syllable. What do we mean by syllable? It's a unit of pronunciation carrying one vowel sound with or without surrounding consonants, forming the whole or a part of a word. Now let's have a quick illustration here. I have a word which is pen. So it has only one beat of sound. How do I figure how many beats of sound a word has? So the first one is pen. So in every word where I have only one beat of sound, you can have a quick self-illustration. For example, pen. I just say pen, just one clap, pen. If I have another word which is tap, tap. If I have a word like water, it's water. Likewise, pencil, pencil. Two taps means two syllables. So number of clap or number of taps in every word basically defines numbers of syllables. Why is it important? I will tell you. Let's look at these examples first. So the first one is pen. Then I have pencil, which means I have two beats of sounds, pen, sil. Then I have computer, com-pu-ter, three syllables. Next, technology, tech-no-lo-gy, four syllables. Alright. So each of these words, every word will have a minimum of one syllable, maximum could be anything. Alright. Now why is it important? Now before I move to syllable stress, I will tell you quickly why understanding syllable is important. I have a word here which is school. Okay, let me change the color. Now in terms of pronunciation, if you go to the northern part of the country, say or eastern part of the country, say West Bengal, Bihar, UP and all those parts, central part, they don't pronounce this as school, they say a school. Okay. Now how many syllables do I have in the word school? Only one, school. But they add another syllable here and they make it is school. If I have a word here which is against, the actual pronunciation is against. But people make mistake and they make it sound like against. Instead of saying against, they say against. which means they are adding another syllable here. All right. For example, the country name America. So the pronunciation in terms of syllable is A-me-ri-ka, 4 syllables. But a lot of people in Punjab, Chandigarh, Delhi and these areas, they say Ri-ka. I am going to America. It's not America, it's America. So there are 4 syllables in America, but they drop one and they say America. Same thing happens with the word 11. The actual pronunciation is E-le-11. But we pronounce this as 11. So instead of 3 syllables, we are only saying 2 syllables. So you need to know how many syllables the word has. Now, how do you figure out how many syllables a word has? Number one, take a look at the word itself. Break it into sounds. Okay? Now, if I have to look at this particular word, please listen very carefully. This is important in terms of accurate syllables. In this word, I have how many vowels? I have 3 vowels. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 vowels. If I have another word which is, or let me pick a word which I can find it easy to explain to you. How many vowels do I have? I have 2 vowels. O and O, these are vowels. I am talking about vowels, not vowel sounds. Okay? If I have to give you another example, photograph, O, 2 and 3. So I have 3 syllables. So you may say number of vowels equivalent to number of syllables. Photo, photograph, 3 syllables. So you can actually conclude, which is actually incorrect, you may conclude that number of vowels equals number of syllables, but that is not the fact. Let me show you an example. Let me move this up. Instead of photograph, I am saying photography. Okay. Now, even if I make it photography, the number of vowels still remains the same. O, 1, 2, 3. But how many syllables do I have? Photography. Photography. 4 syllables. Number of vowels is 3, but syllable is 4, which means syllable count does not depend on count of vowel. It depends on count of vowel sound. If I have to break this, I will say for, O, for. I am breaking this into all the sounds now. T, O, photo, G, R, A, photograph, photography or photography. The actual pronunciation is photography. This is the actual pronunciation. Photography. Graphy. Now, how many vowel sounds do I have? 1, 2, 3. A is 3. Let me mark it so that you can identify. It's photography. How many syllables? Photography, 4. Number of vowel sound is also 4, which means syllable count is equivalent to presence of vowel sounds, number of vowel sounds, not vowel itself. Another aspect of syllable is syllable stress. Say for example, I have these two objects here. The first one is a projector, the second one is a file, basically a project. Now the first one, the job of this machine is to project. The second one is a project. So one is project, second one is project. When your stress is on the second syllable, it is a verb. When the stress is on the first syllable, it's a noun. For example, the discus thrower, discus, which means my first syllable, it's a noun, second syllable, it's a verb, discuss, let's discuss, and let's go to field to see some discus throw. Third one, ice cream. When I say ice cream, this is noun, this is ice cream. Alright, so when you're shifting the syllable, it actually changes, the meaning changes. One common area where people make mistakes, there is a word which is content. What is the pronunciation of this particular word? Can somebody tell me? Lot of people pronounce this as con. Sorry. Lot of people pronounce this as content, right? But there is another pronunciation of this word which is content. So is it content or content? The answer is very simple, because when you shift the sound, the meaning changes. When you say content, content means being happy. Alright, content, when you pronounce this as content, that means being happy. When you pronounce this as content, it means index or ingredient. So when you ask, so sir, today we have a training, I have prepared some documents, I have prepared some self-learning documents. So my question will be, what is the content? It's not content. Content means being happy with yourself, being happy with something. For example, I could ask, are you content with the training? I can't say, are you content with the training? I can't say, please give me the content what you have written. You cannot write a content, right? You can write a content. So a lot of people make these mistakes in terms of content and content. Another common example I want to give you, this particular word, which is content. Can I have the slide? I'm typing. Alright. Now there are two pronunciations for this. One is comment, the other one is comment. One is comment and one is comment. What is the difference? So please don't mix it up. Alright. When I say comment, it's a noun. When I say comment, it's a verb. Could you please comment how to do that? Like commentary. Commentary is noun. So commentary is not the right pronunciation. Can you please comment or can you read the comment? All right. So please keep this in mind. Now moving on to syllable and syllable stress. Syllable stress basically means in linguistics, stress is the relative emphasis that may be given to certain syllables in a word. Every word will have one or more syllables, minimum one, maximum could be anything. So any stress on a particular syllable is what syllable stress is all about. Now there are certain rules in terms of syllable and syllable stress. What I want you guys to do is just draw this in your notebook. These number of blocks can be unlimited, it could be any number. What is important is this red circle and the star. Okay? The star basically means the word ending. What are these ending? These are the word endings. The red circle is the stress. Okay? Just make a note of this. I will explain what do I mean by this. Just draw the same diagram, write what I have written and write down those endings. IC, IOUS, EOUS, SION and TION. All right. Now what I mean is, let's pick the example of the first one, IC. In case if I have a word that ends with IC, it says word ending here, right? Word ending, IC. If I have a word that ends with IC, so IC is my word ending. I am marking this green to denote the ending, the star. The rule says penultimate means second last. The rule says if you have a word with IC in the end, the word could have any number of syllables, but the syllable stress should be on the second last. For example, if I have a word magic, I will stress here, magic. If I have a word which is tragic, so IC is my ending, my syllable is tragic, tragic. I will stress on tra. Any other word which has more than two syllables, let's pick a word which has more than two syllables. Catastrophic. Okay. Now, how many syllables do I have here? Ca, ta, stro, fic. So I have four syllables. Ca, ta, stro, fic. The rule says since this is ending with IC, my stress will be on the second one. So I'll mark this red. Catastrophic, catastrophic. All right. Another word, Atmospheric. So let me break it into syllable. Atmospheric. So my stress will be here, atmospheric. All right. Next word ending is IOUS. Any word that ends with IOUS. Just a moment. Okay, IOUS or EOUS. Let's take IOUS first. For example, I have the word which is conscious. So how many syllables do I have? Conscious. This is my total number of syllables. Out of this, IOUS is my word ending. Conscious. Since this is the word ending, the previous syllable will take the stress. I could have EOUS as well. A word that I can think of is gorgeous. Okay. So how many syllables? Gorgeous. So this is my word ending. The stress is here. Gorgeous. SION. Confusion. Let me change the color. How many syllables? Confusion. This is my word ending. The second last syllable is FU. So I will stress on confusion. All right. Diffusion. Diffusion. So my stress will be here. Diffusion. All right. Next one is TION. Calculation. So my LA, lay, will take the stress. Calculation. It's not calculation. It's calculation. For example, population. It's not population. The population of India is more than 1 billion. It's not population, it's population. All right. So TION also follows the same rule, where the penultimate syllable will have the stress. So please do remember that. All right. Now moving on to the next rule, which says anti-penultimate. Anti-penultimate means in penultimate rule, I had the second last syllable which had the stress. Anti-penultimate, I will have the third last which will have the stress. And these are the word endings: CY, TY, ICAL, PHY, GY, METER, meter. So let's take example on these as well. First one is CY, correct? Any word that ends with CY. Okay. For example, policy. Now CY is my word ending. The stress will be on the third from the right. From the third, this is the last one. Penultimate, anti-penultimate. So this is the last one. Penultimate, anti-penultimate. This rule says anti-penultimate will have the stress. So I will say policy. All right. CY is the word ending. Policy. Next word or next word ending ty. Any word that ends with ty. Quality. Now, how many syllables I have here? Quality. So, the third one from the end will take the stress. Quality. Okay. The next one is ICAL. Physical. So the third from the right, antepenultimate, will have the stress. Physical. All right. If I have to increase the number of syllables, here is the word with 4 syllables. Okay, now I am breaking it. Economical, economy, economical, 5 syllables. But ICAL is my ending. The ending itself has 2 syllables. And I need to stress on the third one. 1, 2, 3. So I will say economical. Clear? Next one, PHY. Geography. Is it geography or geography? The correct pronunciation is, if it's black, please don't stress on that. You need to stress on the red one. It's geography. Okay, now it's perfect. It's geography. All right. GY. Now here I am going to tell you something amazing. The word is allergy. It's not allergy, it's allergy, because I am stressing on the third one, allergy. Likewise, I have a word which is energy, 3 syllables. We always pronounce this as energy. It's not energy, it's energy. Because GY, I will have the stress on the third syllable from the end, which is antepenultimate. So I will say energy instead of energy. The last one is METER. We always pronounce this as speedometer. It's not speedometer, it's speedometer, because spe is where the stress is. So I say speedometer. The same thing happens with odometer. What do you mean by odometer? Those who ride a bike or drive a car, you would know there is a meter which shows what is the speed. That is, you have a needle, you also have a digital format these days. Speedometer basically shows the speed. There is also an odometer which shows the distance. There is a counter, right? Now you have the digital format as well. Odometer basically is the gauge which shows the distance covered. Speedometer shows the gauge which shows the speed. All right. So likewise we have thermometer. So we have thermometer, speedometer, odometer. It's not speedometer, it's not odometer, it's odometer. Meter is pronounced as meter. Likewise, the pressure gauge, I forgot the name, I was just thinking about it. So wherever you have the meter word, you got to pronounce that as meter. So speedometer, odometer, thermometer, a barometer. Okay, it's not barometer. Never say barometer. It's barometer. Like parameter, we always say parameter, right? It's not parameter. It's parameter. Parameter. All right. That is how the pronunciation is. So that's about the syllable and the syllable stress we learned today. Where to stress. Now pronunciation recap. We understood what is the communication tree. We understood the sounds, the consonant sounds, the vowel sounds, syllable and syllable stress. What you need to do now is, on daily basis, pick up a passage, read loud. Even if there are people around you, don't bother about it. Read loud, open your mouth wide, read loud, read clearly. Wherever you do not understand a particular pronunciation or a word, how to pronounce it, you can post it on the YouTube channel. I'll take a look and I will provide you with the answer in the next session. So with this, we are done with the first pillar, which is pronunciation. So our first pronunciation, the first pillar is done. Tomorrow we will look at grammar, something which is little complex but not very difficult. So I'm going to give you a lot of quick tips in terms of mastering grammar, post which we'll look at vocabulary and fluency as well. All right. So I hope this session was helpful. Please do practice a lot and please do post your questions. I will look forward to your questions and provide you with the answers. Thank you so much for your time and participation. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.